Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mystery Sports Podcast. Obviously, today, just literally now, we've had the final Premier League game of the weekend. Obviously, huge weekend of football, especially from start of since Saturday. Obviously, huge weekend there. Obviously, with the Merseyside derby. Then you also have United versus Chelsea, probably the most entertaining weekend, but closely followed by Man City versus Arsenal. What a game that was. Into that a little bit later. But first, we are going to start off with the F1. So the Azerbaijan Grand Prix this weekend. My predictions were totally wrong. I think that's been so far with my predictions this weekend have been on the opposite of what's happened. So obviously, just to get into it first, the biggest surprise is Oscar Piastri out of the race, and everyone thinking, "Oh yeah, Lando Norris can easily get back and claw back the 1 point gap lead." Unfortunately, he finished seventh. I thought he was going to win the race, but finishing seventh, it could have been much worse, and it should have been much better, really, realistically. But it was a bit of a boring race, should we say? Like it was entertaining at the start, and then it just dropped off. There was not much really happening and things like that. But I think with the title now, it's definitely gonna be McLaren's. It's just a matter of time until they do eventually win the Constructors' Championship. Obviously, Verstappen puts the party on hold at the moment. And I think in a couple of weekends, maybe even next weekend at Singapore, um, it will be, McLaren's Constructors' Trophy. That's definitely will happen. So obviously, we'll go in the like what happened in the race. So you've got Verstappen, who won the race. You got George Russell second, Science third, Kimi Antonelli fourth. Phenomenal race for him. Um, what's his name? Forgot his name. Lawson finishing at fifth. Sonoda sixth, good result for him. Norris seventh, Hamilton eighth, Leclerc ninth, Hadjar 10th. I mean, decent for Hadjar, got a point there. That prediction was right after I thought he would get a point today. Carlos Sainz third podium for Williams, brilliant. That's really, really brilliant for them. It sets up them to have a bit of consistency. Maybe you never know, like they could go and do well in the Constructors' Championship with the final few races or the back end of the calendar now. I think what surprised me a bit was that the pace of the Aston Martins. I thought the Aston Martins would have had a better race, however, didn't didn't prove to be. Maybe it's just like Azerbaijan didn't suit their car, and maybe Singapore as well. I think their car isn't as suited to the street circuit, but we all wait to see what happens there. But I mean, Verstappen winning again, brilliant to see for the Red Bulls' perspective and the Dutch fans. See Russell second, brilliant for me as a Mercedes fan. I'm happy with that. I think that means that they go above in us, go second in the constructors championship, which is brilliant for me, brilliant for Mercedes especially. But yeah, brilliant. Well, that was the F1 really. Verstappen winning, and Piastri DNF, crazy. Now just on to the WSL. So obviously we had quite a few games. And biggest game today was obviously Man United versus Arsenal. So the on Friday you had London City versus Everton. London City win 2-1. Brilliant result for them. Get their first win. And also City versus Tottenham. City going riot, scoring 5-1 to City. New York Chelsea versus Leicester today. It was a 1-0 win to Chelsea. I thought they would get more, but Leicester proving that difficult to score against. Then Aston Villa versus Liverpool, obviously that tragic death of Beard, the manager. Obviously it's an unfortunate event that's happened there. Obviously, our prayers are with him, his friends and family. So obviously disappointing. Well, just yeah, a hard situation there. Obviously the match got postponed. Moving on, Brighton versus West Ham, 4-1 to Brighton. I knew Brighton were going to win. Definitely were going to win there. And then to the main game of the day, Man City versus Man United versus Arsenal. It was 0-0 there. Bit of a boring game, but I feel like these are the type of games that United need to go and win. It from the stats, it looked like Arsenal just had the slightly better advantage on possession terms than the passing. However, I do think with terms of shots, it was 7 shots to United, 8 for Arsenal. Only Arsenal managing 1 on target and United managing 3. So I think it's quite an equal game, really. Obviously, no yellow cards or no red cards, so pretty like a fair game. So nothing dirty really happened in the games. But I mean, it sets Chelsea are now 2 points clear of the top of the WSL. Got United second, Arsenal third, and City fourth on 6. United and Arsenal both on 7. United above on goal difference by 1. So it sets that for obviously interesting season really, and maybe Chelsea might slip up against United or Arsenal possibly, or even City when they play them again later on in the season. But yeah, that's really happy for um, United to get a point because I think it's a tough game against Arsenal, especially with the quality they possess with Beth Mead and Alicia Russo, because brilliant players there. Obviously, we know how good Leah Williamson is as well, obviously England captain. But yeah, so now onto the Premier League. So we'll go through the results really, and then we'll go through the City game and the United game in a bit more detail in a second. So we had the Merseyside derby 2-1 to Liverpool. I think a brilliant game, really, really good game. Watch that entire game. I think Liverpool just showed their quality with their 2 goals that they scored. Everton though looked really good in that second half. I think they deserved a draw, judging by the second half performance. But it was really, really obviously, so Liverpool win, they go top, maintain that perfect start of the season. Well done to them. Brighton versus Tottenham, 2-2. Interesting game. I think I predicted 2-2. I'm not sure what I predicted. I think it was 2-2, yeah. Obviously, if that is right, brilliant from me. Great ball knowledge there. I think with that game, it was always going to end in a draw. I think both sides are equal. Fantastic for a neutral. Burnley versus Forest, 1-1. Thought Forest were going to do much better than the scoreline reflects. 1-1. I think Burnley just did well, and I think Burnley have a good chance of staying up. Really, if they can nick results like that and stay into games like they did against Liverpool, obviously unfortunately losing, they could definitely be up there and just try fight staying up. Obviously, then you go to West Ham versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace win 2-1. I think West Ham just showed a bit more character in this game. I think watching that match of the day, you could tell that there was a bit more character from the West Ham players, but Palace's quality just amazing, really. I think West Ham, if they carry on like this, they will go down this year. I don't want to say that, but I think they do. Leeds versus Wolves, 3-1 to Leeds. Brilliant performance from Leeds. I think Leeds definitely stay up this year. Look like a very, very good side. I just think Daniel Farker's got them playing a good brand of football to keep them up. So if they keep winning 3-1 and getting results like that, they can definitely stay up. Because realistically, all you need is 4 wins. Well, 4 wins is usually what you kind of need to stay up by the averages over the seasons that have been. But I think Wolves could go down, and I think there's a high chance they will go down. I think this year we might be seeing quite a few upsetters. So Wolves going down, West Ham going down, and if I was to predict the third team going down, it could be Nottingham Forest or um, Burnley. One of them I think will go down. I think it's quite harsh, but I think that is what will happen. Then we go to United versus Chelsea, 2 red cards in the NBA, obviously 2-1. We'll speak more on that later. Fulham versus Brentford, 3-1 to the Fulham. I mean, Damsgaard with a great goal, but Fulham just absolutely obliterated Brentford in the second half. Just went riot, really. Just kept peppering them and just destroying Brentford. So obviously that was 3-1. Then you go in today's game. So we got Bournemouth versus Newcastle, 0-0. I've predicted to be a draw, but I didn't expect to be a 0-0. Um, bit of a mixed game, really. That, to be fair, there was some elements of attacking like brilliance, but then obviously defensively, both teams were solid. You go to Sunderland versus Villa, another draw, 1-1 there. Sunderland with 10 men, I think they've done brilliant to get a draw, and these are the results that I think that it will keep Sunderland up. If Sunderland keep doing these kind of results, Sunderland will easily get back into or will stay up this year in the Premier League. And then you got Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1. Bit of a boring game. Jokes. Don't bite my head off. Just a bit of the league, what the league's looking like. So if we just get the league, where is the league? Why can't I see the league? What has happened to these stats here? Please load, please load, please. There we go. Right. So obviously top Liverpool, 15 points. Arsenal second on 10. Tottenham on third with 10. Bournemouth on 10 with fourth. Palace 5 on 9. Chelsea sixth with 8th. Seventh Fulham with 8. Seventh Sunderland with 8. Fulham eighth with 8. Man City ninth with 7. Everton 10th with 7th. United 11th with 7. Leeds 12th with 7. Newcastle 13th with 6. Brighton and Hove Albion with 5 with 5 points in 14th. 15th Forest on 5. Burnley 16th with 4. Brentford 17th with 4. Villa with 3 in 18th. West Ham 19th on 3, and Wolverhampton Wanderers still on 0 points. So I mean, the league is kind of you can kind of in infer some little bits of what may happen this year. So I think West Ham and Wolves will be there. I think Villa, we've got to see much more from Villa, and I think they will be up there. Well, we'll get better as the season goes on. Obviously, only 5 games in. Brentford, I think I've got a lot more to offer. Burnley the same. Forest, I think, give Ange time and he will come get results for them. And I think that realistically, if I'm looking at it from my point of view, I think Ange Postecoglou is gone after before March. Bold statement, but I think that will happen. But yeah, so that obviously they're the results there. Then let's get on to obviously the main game today: Arsenal versus Man City. 1-1. What a brilliant game! Like so many chances for Arsenal. City um, have Pep Guardiola basically built a blue wall, and unfortunately, it got broken. Or fortunately, it got broken by Martinelli, and I think it was a lapse in concentration that goal went in. But throughout the large majority, throughout the game, Arsenal had got Arsenaled. It's quite obvious that Arsenal just absolutely like um got played by Pep, and they couldn't break themselves down. Pretty much, it was like watching Arsenal versus Liverpool, and City were the Arsenal, just defending for their lives and protecting that one goal lead. And you know what? Fair play to them. It nearly paid off. I mean, they've dropped. I think if you look at it from a City's perspective, they've lost 2 points there. I think they should have gone and won that game. If they didn't do that little offside trap, Trossard would have been offside, and this what I'm saying now could have been a very different conversation. It could have been Arsenal had been Arsenal, and they had no reply for City. No reply for City, and obviously City with a clean sheet away to the Emirates, and probably putting themselves up to fourth or up there, trying to obviously get that Champions League spot. I mean, another positive for City as well. Donnarumma, what a signing! I mean, you paid the money there, and wow, it's paid off. Like, I mean, even against Man City, Man United, you could tell that he's a world class keeper from that 2 wonder saves he's made it from Emblemo, and he's done it again. Really, I mean, he's some keeper to beat, and to chip him as well, Martinelli. Fair enough, it was a brilliant finish, brilliant finish, and you know, it just means that now this title race is going to be much harder, and Arsenal have got that point that they need to keep that pressure on Liverpool, even though they didn't win. But it's those games against City, against United, there they need to scramble points and get as many points as they possibly can. Like they got 3 points, 4 points off two of the top 6 teams, and still got to play Liverpool. No, um, I mean, they've got to play Liverpool again, sorry. Obviously, they lost there. But Liverpool at the Emirates haven't had the best of seasons, really. So anything can really happen for the title race. And Liverpool have got to just keep winning. And if they keep winning, obviously, as it's easy said than done, they go and win the league again. And I think that could definitely happen. But Arsenal with the point there, brilliant for them. Brilliant result as they managed to scramble a point like they managed to scramble a win against United, which they have to do. They keep having to do that. And obviously, Man City, positives on them, defended brilliant. They've made that one mistake there, which is unfortunate, but I do think that Man City look much better, and I think they'll be. I don't say they'll win the league or be pushed for a title, but they will definitely be up there and probably finish third this year, or even challenge with Arsenal if Liverpool go and run away with the league, which it looks like they are doing. But really an entertaining game for a neutral's perspective, and I couldn't follow any of the teams there. I think I think a lot of people as well. If like say it was Arsenal who did that, a lot of people give Arsenal a lot of criticism. I think City as well. I don't think they deserve criticism. I think they've done what they needed to do, play there and defend. Because if they go try, it's that at home especially. If they go try toe for toe with them, you never know what'll happen. They might just absolutely steamroll them and go and win. Um, for Arsenal go and win like 2-1 or something like that. You never know, or 4-1 or whatever it might be. So I think having defended really well, they should have got a bit more from the game. A point though, I think it's a fair result considering what actually happened during the game. Then obviously you got Man United 2-1 against Chelsea, two red cards. I think that game was very entertaining, especially from a neutral point of view. Because I mean, watching that game, I thought United were going to lose this game. It was such a United thing to do. Obviously, thankfully, we got a 2-1 result, a win under our belt, and Ruben Amorim needed that massively. It's a good win. And I think now they need to kick on. They need to build that momentum there and go and build and go and beat Brentford next week, then go and beat Sunderland and then try scramble a point against Liverpool and not get humiliated. But you never know what will happen. I think they go and lose against Liverpool massively. I think overall though, I think it was a deserved win for United. They did play. I know they're gonna people say oh, they played against 10 men, but you got to play what's in front of you. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say it was against City and City got 10 men. You got to play what's in front of you. You have to. That's football at the end of the day. It's not my fault that it's not United's fault that Sanchez decided to get himself sent off. But yeah, I mean, mention to Šeško, I think he played very well. Despite scoring, his aerial presence was brilliant. I think he played a huge part, sorry, in getting Sanchez sent off. That flick on was brilliant for him, Mbeumo. And I think even if Sanchez doesn't send himself off, I think Mbeumo scores to make 1-0. I think it was a brilliant aerial presence. And all our goals came from, well, crosses into the box. And who's that probably because of? Šeško, because he's up there. And Casemiro obviously there scoring. Um, you probably got Maguire and Šeško, so all tall lads who are really good in the air, and I think it's brilliant from Šeško. See Bruno Fernandes hit his 100th goal for Man United, brilliant, and he played, as Ruben Amorim joked in his press conference, as centre mid. So, no, to be fair though, it was brilliant for Bruno. Glad he's got his 100th goal for United, well deserved, and very important for United. Just buying there as well. I think from this game, we just learned that even not under pressure, Bayern doesn't have the minerals to be United's number one goalkeeper. And I think against Brentford, Lemon should start. This is a perfect game to just let him in, give him his debut, let him let him settle into and make that spot his own. I just think that needs to happen. And I'm always going to say this now. I think that game, that mistake that he made at the end was, and if it costed us, that probably would have been like, you have to get rid of him now. You cannot let him play another Premier League game, considering it's the only thing we've pretty much got going for us at the moment. But yeah, and then just a quick mention onto the Rochdale Women's game. So at that game today, obviously, unfortunately, they lost 4-0 there. I thought it could have gone much better. Obviously, the FA Cup run is unfortunately over now. Let's hope they regroup, get that together, and go in the league next week and go and kick on with the season and get that promotion because I think they definitely got the ability there. There's quality in the players there. And let's hope that they can kick on with the team and stuff. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a nice rest of your day.